Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Kambosos Haney will battle it out for all the marbles June 4th in Australia. Let's talk about Kambosos because there seems to be a bit of an aura attached to the guy that he'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. But that seems to have gone for me. The moment I found out he's demanded a rematch clause in Australia, that notion of he'll fight anyone anytime has gone, because now it's, yeah, I'll fight anyone anytime unless you agree to a rematch in my hometown because I'm scared I'm going to lose. Now, I get rematch clauses are pretty basic, right? They go on. But when you look at the scenario, and when you take things into context, especially Kambosos' commercial value, which isn't big at all outside of Australia. I don't even think it's that big in Australia, to be quite honest with you. Certainly not outside of it. He's in no position to start demanding rematches. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not Canelo. He's not Anthony Joshua. He's not defended the undisputed belts 4 times. Let's get it right. He stumbled across the belts. He didn't claim every single belt one by one. Fortunately enough, he beat Lee Selby and he was mandatory to Teofimo, right? And Teofimo beat Lomachenko and he had all the belts. So he's not collected every single belt and defended every single belt. So he's in a position to say, I'm undisputed champion. He's defended it all the time, right? Defended it numerous times. I can demand things. No, he's not, right? He beat Teofimo, the worst Lopez that has ever showed up. Let's get it right. I'm not taking anything away from Kambosos, but look at the fight. Theo just plodded forward with no regard for what's coming back. Didn't set anything up. Didn't go to the body. Was just headhunting. And by the way, he nearly finished him at the end of that fight. A lot of people forget. He nearly finished Kambosos at the end of that fight. He was out on his feet. And if he had anything left, Theo, he would have finished him. The last 3 fights of Kambosos, all split decisions. Now you can say, well, if it's away from home and you get a split decision, you probably won comfortably. But that's the fact. His last 3 fights, Kambosos have been split decisions. Right? This is not someone who's just absolutely outclassed everyone and he's faced a murderous row of fighters. Look at his resume, take away Theo, and look at Garcia's, look at Tank's, look at Loma's, look at Lopez's. And you'll find Kambosos' resume is not all what it's being made out to be. I keep hearing this guy's earned it. He'll fight anyone, anywhere. Let me tell you something. There's a difference when you don't have a choice in things. When he's fighting Lee Selby for an eliminator, he brings no commercial value, does he? So he has to come to England, right? He has to come to the UK to fight Lee Selby. He didn't have a choice, right? He wanted to be in a position where Theo had to fight him. Right? So he won that fight by split decision, fair enough. He's come across Lopez, right? We all know the problems with the fight pre-hand, and we all know there was issues with that fight. That's just the truth of it. Now, as I keep saying, everything in life has context. The first thing people say about Devin Haney is, look at his resume, he's not fought anyone. Hold on. Right. I wasn't the biggest fan of Devin Haney. I wasn't, because I believe Kambosos is the undisputed champion. He beat the man. And now Haney has realised that, or he wouldn't be agreeing to these conditions, right? So I understand that Kambosos is undisputed. But look at resumes, right? Haney's 23. And you take away Theo from Kambosos, Haney's got a better resume. They all have. So this notion of he's for absolutely everyone to get to where he needs to be, it's just not really true. Look at the names on there. Then that's not a resume that I'm thinking, oh my God, that guy's just... it's not a Cole Froch resume. His best wins are Mickey Bay and Lee Selby. An old Lee Selby who's not a lightweight, a faded Lee Selby who's just retired. Who's basically probably going to retire now. He lost last week. That's his best win, taking away Theo. Now, people can say, well, he fought Theo. Right, fair enough. But now Haney is fighting Kambosos away from home. Right? And all the back and forth that was going on between Haney and Kambosos, I believe Haney now. Because the moment I heard about that rematch clause, I realised he's a fucking pain in the arse to negotiate with Kambosos. All of a sudden, he's thinking he's Floyd Mayweather. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. Now, yes, you have the belts, but there should be absolutely no need for a rematch. I've said it before. It holds a division up. What happens if Haney knocks him out? Who wants to see it again? What happens if Haney completely outboxes him? What happens if it's a controversial decision like Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor? Haney gets done over in Australia, which could very well happen. What happens then? He's not allowed Haney don't get a rematch. What happens then? That's my problem with this now. As I say, I know it goes on with the big boys, with the Canelos or Anthony Joshua's, but Kambosos isn't in their league commercially. Let's talk facts, right? The fact this fight is in Australia tells you it's got absolutely no global appeal commercially, because if it was a massive fight, right, it would be in the States, it'd be in England, it'd be in the Middle East. It's not. It's in Australia. Now, we all love the Australian fans. They bring noise, but boxing isn't as big over there. That's why Ebony Bridges has to come over here. That's why Tim Tszyu has had to come to America, right? You don't stay in Australia if you want to be a commercial star. I heard Kambosos say yesterday that he could have picked anyone to fight in the stadium. Could have had an easy fight in the stadium. Let me tell you something. You think he's selling out 50,000 people fighting Josh Comey, Maxie Hughes, or Jojo Diaz? You really think that's going to happen? It's not. Or this thing that he's like the darling of Australia. He's not. Like, let's get it right. Before the Theo fight, would anyone say Kambosos has a whole country behind him? No. Now, yes, his profile has got a lot bigger from that fight, from beating Theo and claiming the bouts, and he did every bit of media going. Right, Joe Rogan, this one, that one, and that's fine. He's maximising his commercial value. When you look at it in the cold light today, he doesn't bring commercial value outside of Australia. That's just the cold, hard facts. So why is he demanding rematches? Because let me tell you something. All these people say to me, oh, you discredit him. He beat the man. You beat the man. He should be the A-side. I'm not disputing he's not the A-side, right? Yes, he's the A-side. He should have a bigger share of the pay-per-view money and obviously the purse, right? No one's disputing that. But absolutely no way is he in a position to start demanding rematches on his terms. At least with the rematch clause, let the winner dictate, right? So whoever wins the fight, there has to be a rematch, but the winner gets a bigger share of the purse, or he dictates where the fight is. Not I want to fight in Australia. You have to fight me in Australia. I'm demanding that. Let me tell you something. If Haney never agreed to it, which by the way he was well in his rights to, because no other lightweight would have agreed to that, to fighting him in Australia twice. Absolutely not. So if Haney turned around and said, you know what, this fight didn't happen because he demanded the rematch clause in Australia, you'd have a different opinion, wouldn't you? And this fight could have been cancelled because of that. And that's the thing that annoys me, to be quite honest with you. Now, I'm not discrediting Kambosos. I'm not saying he shouldn't be the A-side, but I cannot believe that he's got away with putting in a rematch clause to fight in Australia. I just don't understand it. The guy is not a big draw. He's not a big draw. I don't even know how big of a draw he is in Australia. Will it sell out 50,000? I don't know. Let's see. I don't think he's a bigger draw as what everyone seems to think, because everyone's a fan now, but they weren't a fan prior to Lopez. They weren't. And there's all these things like his resume, he's fought everyone. As I keep saying, his best wins are Mickey Bay and Lee Selby, taking away Theo. They're his best wins. Are you telling me that's better than Jojo Diaz and Linares? Or it's better than Isaac Cruz? Or it's better than Luke Campbell? Really? So there just seems to be this notion and these... I just don't understand it, mate. It's just not true, right? The guy is acting like he's undisputed, that he's been undisputed champion for 2 years and he's beat every single fighter. He's beat one world-class fighter who literally put in the worst performance of his career, and he still nearly had him out in the last round. Man, I just don't understand it. In regards to the fight, Haney outboxes him for me. He outboxes him. I keep hearing people say Haney has no power. Again, look at the KO ratio, right? Look at the records. Kambosos' knockout percentage is slightly above. He's knocked 10 people out of 20. Haney's knocked out 15 from 27, right? He's got no pillar fist, right? I'm not saying he's a KO machine, but he has respectable power. He's got explosive power, right? You're not going to walk through him, believe you me. And I think in this fight, Haney's just not going to give him the openings Theo did. He's going to go to the body. Theo never went to the body. He came out trying to headhunt. He knew he had nothing in the tank. He tried to take him out of there in the first few rounds. Right? Watch the fight. He just plodded forward wasn't the Theo that we're used to seeing. That's just a fact. Devin Haney isn't going to just stand there and pot shot to the head. He's going to go to the body. He's going to slip. He's going to create angles. He's going to box. He's going to come forward. And he knows he has to be aggressive because he knows he's not going to get any favours in Australia. So I think taking all that into consideration, I think he just puts on a masterclass and comfortably outboxes Kambosos. I might be wrong. I said Theo would beat him. Ultimately, I was wrong with that. But I definitely believe this is Devin Haney's Floyd moment, right? And he will beat Kambosos convincingly. And for me, there's absolutely no need for a rematch. Keep saying it. Hold your division up, right? And it's such a dangerous theme now, because now it's not only the big boys demanding rematches, it's fighters with absolutely no commercial value outside of their own country. Let's get it right. If it was a massive fight, it'd be in the States, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be in Australia. That's just a fact. No broadcaster wanted to put it on in the States. That's the reality of the situation. Why? Because both fighters at the moment don't bring enough commercial value globally. Certainly not Kambosos. Haney has got time. He's only 23. I think he will turn into a star. Is he going to be Floyd Mayweather? No. But I believe he will turn into a star. It's easy to forget how young he is. And the fact he's going out there, believing in himself, putting up with these ridiculous demands, right, and saying, you know what, I'm going to beat you, right? I'm not confident in beating you. I'll sign up to have a rematch in your hometown. That's what I respect. That's what I want to see from a fighter. Dillian Whyte should take notice. Tank Davis should take notice. Errol Spence should take notice, right? And I'm converted now, and I'm a Devin Haney believer, and I'm a Devin Haney fan. And taking all that away, he will outbox Kambosos. Outbox him. He's too good. He's too slick, right? His style is all wrong for him. Watch and see. And we'll come back to this video, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat humble pie, but I don't believe I am. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm right in my assessment on Kambosos? Is he acting bigger than he actually is? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.